Hello, and once again, my name is Wade Smith. I'm not exactly sure how good the lighting is going to be for this video, but I'm going to attempt to teach Isshinryu basics from a position that I hope this camera is going to see. And if not, I'll just delete this video and try to refilm it. I need a little bit more light, I think, than what I'm seeing right now. I don't want to get too much light because then it'll blind the camera. So I'm having a little problem setting this up. All right, let me see if I can see myself in the video. All right, I think this will work. All right, so as you can tell, I do have type 2 diabetes. I mean, I haven't practiced full time in around 20 years, but what I'm going to be teaching is the Isshinryu basics. So, for example, you want to do your fist in Isshinryu karate. We practice the punch from the hips into a vertical fist punch into the solar plexus, which we believe we can throw 3 of these punches for every 2 twist punches that a boxer can throw. And I know firsthand that this does work because I have beaten professional boxers by boxing rules when I was 20 years old. But that's another story. But you're a properly trained adult man's vertical fist punch from the hip where they step into it and twisting your hip into it, and all of the motion that goes into this can hit the solar plexus with a little over 1,000 foot-pounds of force. And whenever I was 185 pounds at 20 years old, I could in fact throw over 1,000 foot-pound force punch. I have not, and once again, I've not full-time trained in about 23 years, and I can still throw a 600 foot-pound punch. Um, so I know firsthand that it does work. And then on your thrust kick, my front heel thrust kick may even be above the official estimate, but I've been told that the best way to estimate a thrust kick is that for an adult man is that it should be 2,000 foot-pounds plus 4 times your body weight. So mine might even hit harder than that when I was 20 years old. And so your thrust kick generally is going to be targeting belt knot level to solar plexus level is where most people we teach to throw the thrust kick. And I can get mine to sternum level pretty easily, but I'm going to demonstrate it. It's a heel kick. It's like a snap kick is a ball of your foot kick, whereas a thrust kick you're hitting with the heel of your foot, and you're aiming for belt knot level to solar plexus level. And again, it hits about twice as heavy or more than a professional heavyweight boxer's best right cross would ever hit if you properly train it. In other words, a properly trained martial artist hits between 4 and 6 times harder than an untrained puncher, or kicks between 4 and 6 times harder than an untrained kicker. So, got a little interested watching going on around here. All right, that's good though. But like as I said in the earlier video, every punch can be a block, and every block can be a punch. Like say, if my attacker is attacking with a punch and they have an incoming fist, worst case scenario, I can punch their arm out of the way, so my strike becomes a block. Or I can chop block their arm, so my block becomes a counter attack in one motion. And typically that would break the radius and or ulna of the arm. Let's say if a hip punch, if my attacker is throwing a hook punch, then I can step in and double chop block, and I hit one chop to the radius, which is the inside bone of a hook punch. As you can see here, one chop is going to hit here and break this bone. The other chop is going to hit dead center of the bicep muscle, where you have all your nerves and blood vessels and the muscle itself, and deaden the arm. So now they have a broken bone, a deadened bicep, and either you can run away because they're crying in pain from just getting their arm destroyed, or if they're stupid enough to keep trying to attack you, you can continue to defend yourself. And why would you want to break your opponent's arm? Well, we do have a philosophy of using the minimum amount of force necessary to defend yourself, which is why we would start with something like a solar plexus punch. But if that's appropriate, but if you're defending yourself against a bigger opponent, you might need to break bones in order, or crush their trachea in order to stop them. Or if you're defending yourself against 2 or more attackers, you might need to seriously injure the first attacker or 2 in order to have any chance at all against the second attacker, which is why we have the 10-second rule in Isshinryu karate. You have 10 seconds to defeat your attacker totally. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up on the ground, outnumbered by their friends, and getting your guts kicked out of you and your head smashing into concrete. So that is going to be my goal in teaching this video, is we have 10 seconds to defend ourselves successfully. And if we fail to defend ourselves successfully, the odds are we're on the ground. And if you're a woman, the odds are you're getting raped by somebody after that. So I don't mean to scare the hell out of the person that's watching the video, but that's just the reality of where crime statistics work, that you have about 10 seconds to defend yourself. Now, we don't teach head kicks as a philosophy in Isshinryu because they're low percentage, even in professional fights. But you really should practice head kicks anyway, just to work on your fitness and flexibility. But don't count on a head kick to save your life in a fight. Your punches are a lot closer to your opponent's head. For every degree that you go above horizontal with your kick, you lose about 1% or so of the force of your kick. So by the time you get a thrust kick all the way up to chin level, it doesn't have that much power on it. Even though it can crush someone's sternum, the difference between your sternum and your chin is about another 8 inches. See, basically my palm is about 9 inches. My palm to my fingertips is about 9 inches. So the difference between your sternum and your chin is about 9 inches. So you lose another 9 or 10% off your kick by the time you get from sternum to chin. All right, so I will need demonstration partners, and I'm going to get them eventually. But that's probably going to be the end of this video. I'm not as flexible as I was when I was younger. We don't focus on 100% flexibility, because if your martial arts only works for the best athletes, then it's not really worth much. We need the technique and the practice to make it work, and we don't need perfect fitness to make it work. I wish I was more fit and hadn't developed type 2 diabetes earlier in my life, and it's still a problem that I'm dealing with. But if I had to defend myself, I would be able to. All right, so I think that's the end of the video for now. I'm going to need my partner after this video, and thank you very much. I think it's working, but I don't know how clear it's going to be. It's got enough light, but